Carlos Alcaraz announces a new change before the Six Kings Slam final. The Mercian doesn't believe he's reached his ceiling yet and thinks he still has plenty of room for improvement. Now, he's looking to take revenge for last year's loss in Riyadh against Sinner. The organizers of the Six Kings Slam were looking for it, and they've got it, another final between Carlos Alcaraz and Sinner. The Spaniard got past Taylor Fritz and the Italian defeated Tsitsipas and Djokovic to once again fight for the biggest prize money ever awarded in tennis history. And everyone has made it clear why they're taking part in this exhibition. Money. Up to $6 million are at stake in the final that the Spanish and Italian players will contest again, after already pocketing $1.5 million just for participating. After taking the first step toward the coveted Arabian treasure, both players took the microphone before the spectators. The Mercian, who is having his best season yet, even dared to announce a change. Because he doesn't believe he's reached his full potential, quite the opposite. "This is without a doubt the best moment of my career, but there's still an even better Carlos to come," said the world number one on court before 8,000 spectators. With the number one ranking firmly in his hands and confident that he's likely to keep it through the end of the year, Alcaraz is already reflecting on what has been a sweet yet intense 2025. "I've had great moments on and off the court. This year has definitely been my best so far. If I had to choose one moment, I don't know. It's very hard to pick just one. When I won Roland Garros, that was a great moment. When I won Monte Carlo, I was coming off a loss in Miami. I managed to recover mentally and physically and play great tennis in Monte Carlo. I'll go with those moments from this year." Meanwhile, Sinner, currently right behind Carlos in the ATP rankings, said he's proud to be back in a final in Riyadh. After his victory over Novak Djokovic, he's not planning to share that massive prize. "For me, it's very important to keep improving all the time. That's the most important thing. At the end of my career, I'd love to be able to say that I did everything I could to reach 100% of my potential. Success will never change who I am. That's also very important. Obviously, you need rivalries. You need to face players who are better than you." Djokovic compares himself to LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Tom Brady. Another final slips away from Novak Djokovic. The Serb, who was directly qualified for the semi-finals of the Six Kings Slam as the player with the most ATP titles, couldn't handle Sinner, who dispatched him in straight sets, 6-4, 6-2. The Serbian once again found himself outplayed at every stage by the Italian, but he's not losing motivation for the future. "Winning isn't his only drive anymore. Longevity is one of my greatest motivations. I want to see how far I can go. I admit that seeing great figures in other sports still competing at 40 or older, like LeBron, Cristiano Ronaldo, or Tom Brady, is motivating and inspiring for me. I also want to see the changes that are coming to our sport. That excites me. I think tennis will transform over the next few years, and I want to be playing when that happens and contribute to this new platform the sport will develop on. I know there are people who want me to retire soon, but that's not going to happen." Jannik Sinner is aware that he's in a privileged position to make history, but he also knows he can't afford to relax even for a moment. That's how he put it during a press conference at the Six Kings Slam 2025, explaining his goals but also how he lives day to day as a professional tennis player. His mentality continues to impress everyone. Jannik Sinner has overcome extreme situations and, at 24, seems to have developed a mental toughness that few athletes achieve over their careers. Aware of the intimate rivalry forming with Alcaraz, the Italian wants to keep enjoying tennis without losing professionalism, setting ambitious goals, as he explained in statements to Uba Tennis. "I'm trying to understand why I've been cramping up more often than I'd like, but sometimes there's no clear reason. What's clear is that the mind is connected to the body," said Sinner, who wants to move past what happened in Shanghai. "I like being at the Six Kings Slam 2025 because it's a different event that can help promote tennis among new fans. I think we're all motivated to be part of the change the sport is going through. We know Saudi Arabia will play an important role in the future," the Italian explained. When asked about the difficulties of being a professional tennis player, Jannik Sinner offered a powerful reflection. "I consider myself very lucky to do what I do, but obviously there are emotional ups and downs. We spend a lot of time away from our families, we're constantly traveling, it's hard to have privacy. Still, being a professional tennis player is a dream come true. I've turned my passion into my job, but I always feel I should see tennis as a hobby and play with joy," he said before discussing his winning mindset. "I want to play at the highest level for the rest of the season. There are important tournaments coming up for me. I need to keep my fighting spirit, not relax at all, and keep improving every day. That's what got me to world number one. My ultimate goal in tennis is to win all the Grand Slams. I don't play to break records, but to play my best tennis," said Jannik Sinner, who will face Carlos Alcaraz in the 6 Kings Slam 2025 final. Alexander Zverev isn't having his best year, and there are several reasons for it. The German insists it's due to a combination of physical problems that have prevented him from performing at his best, which has in turn affected his confidence. But the superiority of Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz has clearly played a part as well. I love being a tennis player. Even though we travel for 11 months a year, I know I'm privileged and I don't feel comfortable complaining. This season has been very hard for me because of injuries. At the beginning of the year, I was world number 2 and close to becoming number 1. I know that's my level when I'm healthy, but I haven't been able to stay that way since then. When I'm free of pain, I'll have to work hard to recover my best tennis and confidence. The key for me now is to get fit so I can arrive in the best possible shape for 2026, explained the German. Zverev's problems center on his right shoulder, which flared up again during the 6 Kings Slam 2025. I've been feeling much better for a few days, but during the warm-up for my match, the pain came back. It's been very bad luck. Tennis is a brutal sport where it's hard to deal with these issues. I need to talk with my team about the best way to handle recovery, said Zverev, who also spoke about the dominance of Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz over the rest. Right now, both of them are miles ahead of everyone else. I'm still number 3 in the world, but I feel that Jannik and Carlos are way superior. We can't just sit back and watch them dominate, we need to raise our level. Personally, I think there are 4 players who can challenge them: Djokovic, Fritz, Draper, and myself. That said, I can't think about that until I'm fully healthy, stated Alexander Zverev, who will compete in Paris in the ATP Finals, though with low expectations. His brief stint at the 6 Kings Slam 2025 only reinforces the sense that he's stuck in a deep crisis of form, results, and identity. Alexander Zverev is already looking ahead to next season, hoping to compete in top physical condition, pain-free, and regain the level that once made him a constant contender for Grand Slam glory. He reflected on this in statements collected by Uba Tennis, where he emphasized the clear superiority of Sinner and Alcaraz and identified 4 players who could challenge them in 2026. The 6 Kings Slam has kicked off, and it's confirmed a controversy that was already brewing before the players even took the court. The organizers may take serious measures next year because spectators have begun voicing their complaints, at least on social media. As the tournament offering the largest prize money, $1.5 million just for participating and nearly $6 million for the winner, players show up no matter what, even if they're not at 100%. That's what both Stefanos Tsitsipas and Daniil Medvedev have demonstrated. The first faced Jannik Sinner, and his time on court lasted just over an hour. The Italian showed that there's currently a big gap between them, and the spectacle didn't live up to the crowd's expectations. A 6-2, 6-3 win sent the Italian into the semifinals against Serbian Novak Djokovic, who also wasn't expected to be at his physical best after what was seen in Shanghai days earlier. The second match, between Taylor Fritz and Daniil Medvedev, also revealed how financially motivated the players are. Yes, those same players who complain about the ATP calendar seem to forget all that when such a prize is on the line. The Russian lasted even less than the Greek, just 59 minutes before the American knocked him out 6-3, 6-4. Now, Fritz will face Carlos Alcaraz, who already drew attention in his first practice session on the Arabian courts by wearing a curious bandage. Sinner's honest mental explanation for the physical problems that led to cramps in Shanghai: "I broke down." Jannik Sinner returns to competition at the second edition of the 6 Kings Slam after withdrawing from Shanghai due to physical problems related to cramps. The Italian, who is defending his title in Saudi Arabia and has little chance of overtaking Alcaraz for the year-end number 1, admitted that the heat and humidity in China affected him and caused him to break down, forcing him to withdraw. Despite having claimed 2 new Grand Slam titles in 2025, the Australian Open in January and Wimbledon in July, plus the ATP 500 in Beijing, the season of the current world number 2 hasn't been easy. A 3-month suspension that interrupted his campaign after his triumph in Melbourne, along with several painful defeats to Carlos Alcaraz at Rome, Roland Garros, and the US Open, as well as the final of the Cincinnati Masters 1000, which he couldn't finish due to illness, have made it a turbulent year. This was compounded by his retirement in Shanghai in the third round against Talon Griekspoor, caused by cramps that prevented him from finishing the match against the Dutchman due to the harsh conditions in the Asian city, something Sinner admitted weighed on him psychologically. "It was my mistake. The heat and humidity affected me, and I broke down. You learn from these things, cramps can happen, and I was one of many who suffered them," he said ahead of the 6 Kings Slam in comments reported by Punto de Break. Even so, the Italian feels in good shape for the final stretch of this irregular season. "I took 2 days off and then went back to work. I feel good physically and mentally. Conditions were very tough that week, but everything's back to normal now. I think it was mostly a psychological factor. I talked to my team, and mentally I wasn't perfect, but now everything's fine, said the San Condito native before starting his title defense in Riyadh. Although his chances of finishing the year at the top of the ATP rankings are slim, with Carlos Alcaraz having the edge, Sinner hopes to end the season strongly by winning the ATP Finals and Davis Cup again, and possibly adding titles in Vienna and Paris, the latter still missing from his resume. "We're ready here and for the next tournaments, Vienna, the Paris Masters 1000, and the ATP Finals in Turin, and I hope to finish the year in the best possible way," he concluded.